Earlier today, there was a 3-team trade in the NBA. Norm Powell is being sent from the Clippers to the Heat. John Collins is going from the Jazz to the Clippers. And Kyle Anderson, Kevin Love, and a 2027 Clippers second-round pick is headed to the Utah Jazz.
Nobody wants to go to the Jazz.
Kevin Love is expected to be bought out of his contract with the Jazz with the hopes of signing with a contender. The Cavs do have one open roster spot left. Kevin Love has since tweeted, "I never expected to be a math problem."
I saw that. I was going to mention that. I'm glad you caught
Welcome
that.
to the NBA. So my question to you guys is, with one roster spot open, should the Cavs have any interest in a possible reunion with one Kevin Love?
Isn't he done? I mean, what does he have left in the tank?
Well, at least you know he works out. He in shape. If you on the Miami Heat roster, they got running tests and body fat competitions. I'm like, what?
Wasn't Kevin Love his best when he was fat in Minnesota?
Statistically speaking, yes.
But they was on a terrible team.
That's true.
Yeah.
He was just working out with LeBron in New York a couple weeks ago. They had all the
But he hated
footage.
LeBron.
Dude, don't ever
It's a weird relationship.
try and figure out how athletes feel about each other.
Bro, you know you got friends. Like, it's just like saying I thought we were all cool with each other in the media.
Well, no, it's the opposite. I'm saying I thought he hated LeBron.
No, I'm just saying. But if you were on a panel with somebody,
Yeah.
and you don't necessarily like them,
I think it's one of those things where I don't think he ever hated him.
Yeah.
They definitely had rough spots, and I think they've been away when you get away from them, you forget the things you didn't like and you remember the things you did like.
human nature. You
know?
do accentuate all the great
And in
things.
a situation like that, LeBron was tough on him.
LeBron was
But they
And
won.
LeBron's not going to be tough on him in a situation where they're just
And he got them. Listen, they got Miami to talk about now. They can say, I know Spo and Pat Riley. They got things in common. They both won championships. He got him a new contract. See, you can get mad at LeBron, but he gets everybody paid. Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, Shumpert.
I don't buy that he got Kevin Love paid. Definitely the other guys.
I wrote a story in like 2017, 18 on the amount of contracts he was directly responsible for. Those guys you're talking about, it totaled more than he made in his career.
But
Facts.
do you include Kevin Love in that group?
No.
I don't
No.
agree with
But when he left, the Cavs did sign Kevin Love because they didn't have nobody else.
Right, but
Kyrie and him was gone.
That was a bad.
You said that was a bad deal.
I think they were thinking, well, in Minnesota, when he was the guy, he put up great numbers.
I think they were thinking Miami, actually, when LeBron left. And they held on to Bosh and Wade.
Right.
And when LeBron left here, they were going to hold on to Kevin, and they wanted something to build around.
Yep.
And all that. But, it whatever. It's
Indirectly,
water.
he got it.
So would you bring him back? That's the question.
I would bring back Tristan before I brought back Kevin. If you got one spot left, and you're looking for that veteran nastiness, like leader, toughness type locker room guy, championship experience guy, just for me, I'd bring back Tristan before I brought back Kevin. Just me.
It didn't end well with Kevin here, right?
It did not. That was more of a JB thing. I mean, I think at times Kevin was aggravated with pretty much everybody in the organization at one point or another. At the end of it, it was a JB thing more than anything, I think. And they were really tight. They're probably okay now. Like, it was just in that moment, sort of like LeBron and Kevin. So, no, I wouldn't say it was. I mean, the whole thing was sort of up and down, right? Like,
Because the 1 year before, he was really good for him. Like, he was playing his tail off. You're like, man, Kevin Love really turned out to be good.
and he had outbursts that I think he would tell you he wasn't proud of. And when you're trying to win a championship, man, you don't have. And I'm like, there was nothing like that in Miami the last couple of years. Like, he was just a end of the bench guy and a veteran guy. But it's just personal preference. I think Tristan is a better fit than Kevin.
You got to have
Maybe
one
he'll
good
go out
one.
to the Lakers and play with LeBron again.
Maybe
I mean, there wouldn't be any expectations for him to do anything.
if LeBron's on the Lakers.
Oh, what you saying?
I'm just if I had to bet, I'd bet LeBron's on the Lakers. But
If you had to bet, we went through this already, but if you had to bet on what team he's most likely to be on besides the Lakers, what would it be?
Knicks.
That hurts. Because I heard the money just match up. I heard they could do LeBron for Cat straight up.
Yeah, we talked
They
we
can.
talked
We
about
did
that
on
last
Friday.
week.
Yeah.
They can or they can't?
Can.
Cat for LeBron straight up works.
Yeah.
Are the Knicks an overwhelming favorite in the East if that happens?
They're a strong favorite.
Oh, it's a wrap.
They're a strong
Now, it's no
favorite.
guarantee.
I mean, we
At
could.
his age, you never know.
I mean,
Correct.
but
They got a lot of guys you need to count on to stay healthy who haven't historically always been healthy. But
Mitchell Robinson,
OG Anunoby.
he is the OG.
But I don't like that. But that's too much. You got Anunoby, he's physical. Then Mitchell Robinson. Then you still got Hart, and then Brunson always gives us buckets. And you got LeBron.
Yeah.
No,
If you're
Bridges,
LeBron,
come on.
the only thing that makes sense is the Knicks or the Cavs, honestly, because
The Knicks would have no bigs if they traded Cat.
yeah,
It should be just Mitchell Robinson, and then
I mean, is Cat a big?
yeah.
he averaged 14 rebounds last year.
I
He's
mean,
big. He's big.
Is there a big they can get
Pause.
cheap that's a decent player?
At that point, I think they're right up against the apron. I'd have to do some more digging into their financial situation
now
to know who they
McNuggets.
can sign.
I heard. Are the Cavs? Can the Cavs do a 3-team deal?
Cavs can do any deal they want.
Didn't the Durant trade end up being like a 17 trade?
17 deal. First ever 17.
I mean, that's
deal.
just ridiculous.
Like
crazy.
that's why I be telling them they got these Ivy League dudes in back rooms with abacuses and calculators like this. I'm telling you, you can get it done. All you need.
They have guys who they're a capologist. Their
Yeah.
whole job is to manipulate the salary cap.
That's
But
wild.
LeBron, if you're LeBron and you leave the Lakers, you want to go to the East. The East is
Yes.
wide open.
You
Yeah,
have
there's
to.
nobody. I mean, you can say the Warriors, but I would be shocked if that was the play.
Would he go to Milwaukee to play
No.
with Giannis? No.
He go-
Under no
So
circumstances.
it's Cleveland and New York, right?
I would think so.
I think so.
You think he trolling, man? And he said, and they said, he's like, yo, I live here. I be practicing back here all the time. How rare is it for NBA players to practice at another team's indoor facility?
I think it's extremely rare, but he's LeBron, so he can.
He could just pull up, like, yo, what's up?
So legally, I looked into this, and Jason, I'm not sure to the frequency, but if you are an NBA player in the NBA PA, you have access in the offseason to any team's practice facility.
Oh,
Look
So,
at this. Look at
but
this.
how often it happens,
It
I
doesn't
don't
happen
know.
very- I don't
The
believe it happens
frequency,
very often.
I don't know.
Because when you see these guys working out together, they're not.
Yeah.
They're in random.
It's usually
gyms.
like
Right,
Chris
right.
Brickley's gym or
Yeah.
at one of
Random
these
under-
dedicated-
Funny spots.
and not surprising because we talked about it last Thursday. We were saying, in a couple of days, LeBron's going to say, "Oh, you guys made a big deal out of nothing," even though he stirred the pot.
Did you see his tweet?
And that's exactly
Yes.
what happened.
Yeah, he loves doing stuff like that.
I mean, he stirs the pot, and then he's like, "Guys, come
Come on, enjoy your 4th of July,
Yeah,
dog.
right,
Like,
right,
you do something with your family. Go to fireworks. I'm just chilling.
The thing with Allie too was when he put on Instagram with
Yeah.
Allie and the
But-
Allie Clifton and the Cavs jerseys, and
Both jerseys.
so
I didn't even
he's-
realize that was Allie Clifton.
Yeah,
She looked terrible in that picture. No offense.
she's on vacation at the lake.
You know,
Real quick before we get to super chats.
not a fan of her husband.
What's the matter with never mind. I don't
Joe
even,
Smith, right?
No,
No, that's Allie.
Allie LaForce.
Oh,
That's Allie
wrong
LaForce.
Allie. Sorry, Allie Clifton.
Real quick, if it came down to
You look great,
I
Allie.
can't take you anywhere.
My
man.
bad.
Why you can't have
If
that
it
night?
came
My
down to
blood
Tristan-
pressure just doubled, and I had
I was
7
thinking
strokes.
of Allie LaForce. I wanted to rip
As
her.
Bull says, I don't like her husband. I'm like, oh God, where's
I
this
wanted.
going
To,
now?
I'll say what?
I meant to rip Allie LaForce.
I didn't know.
like
I didn't
Joe
know. I
Smith.
was like, I didn't know she was married.
I had a
didn't
bad
know.
interaction with Joe Smith.
If
so
it came down to
get
Tristan
out of
Thompson or Kevin Love for that final spot, Bull, who would you go with? You heard
Tristan
Jason.
Thompson.
You would go Tristan Thompson. G.
obviously, there's more to it with Kevin Love that Jason can't talk about. So whatever.
I don't know. Give me T-Top. I don't know about his. His name is kind of crazy, but I never got into the T-Top. This is the first time I said
And
it.
I look bad all the time. So, not just on
I'll give me
vacation.
Tristan Thompson, man.
Allie LaForce is a sweet lady.
She's fine. Her husband.
She's
Allie,
jerk
I
to
went
me,
to
so I don't
I
like
went to school with Allie LaForce. Shout out to the Bobcats, man.
Allie's awesome.
She used to play basketball.
She did.
Yeah.
Good for her.